Hey guys, Matt here. Today I'm doing a bit of a different video. So I've bought these Volk TE37 replicas, and they are rotor grids which are 16 by 7, and they have a stud pattern of either 4 by 100 or 4 by 114.3, so they can fit two different stud patterns. And I bought them for $450, set of 5 plus one more tire, and I thought it was really good value for money. So I'm going to do them up, make them look presentable, and probably resell them for a bit more. So walking up to the wheels, you can see they're not in the greatest condition at the moment. Very dirty. They have a bit of curb rash on them, on some of them, and you've got this really dirty tire here. That will need to be cleaned up. And yeah, just needs a bit of a touch up. Should be good though. Now before we start painting, I'm going to need to wash off all the grit and dirt on the wheels. I'm going to use degreaser as well, just to be sure that all the grit and dirt is all off, and then we can get to the painting. So I've now washed it thoroughly, made sure that there's no leaves or dirt on the wheels. There's still a bit of grease on them, but I'll degrease them after these dry off in the sun. So I got the wheels here, drying up in the sun. Shouldn't be too long before they're all dry and ready to paint. So here's my box of goodies from Bunnings. We've got tire shine, that was from Super Cheap Auto. Don't know if I'll need that. I got degreaser, primer, and satin black paint. So the wheels are all dried now, looking a bit better. So we've got all this. Now we can clearly see where the paint imperfections are. So we need to touch this up. What else do we have? We've got like this kind of curb rash, but there's no paint chipped off. So I'm just going to leave those bits. So it's not going to look perfect, but it will look good enough. We've got this one here. This one's really deep into the material. I don't know what this rim's made out of. Probably aluminium or something. But yeah, this one's really deep. But I'm just going to paint over it, hope for the best. Just before I put any paint on this wheel, I'm going to degrease the spots where I'm going to paint, just to make sure there's no dirt left that I'll be painting on top of. And we'll leave that to soak in for a little bit. So I've got the primer here. It's going to need a bit of a stir before I use it. I'll probably give it a stir for roughly, I don't know, 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. Should be alright, and then we'll get the paint stirred as well, and then we'll apply both of them and hopefully it'll look alright. So it's been soaking in for a bit now. I'm gonna wipe it off. People normally hose it, but I'm just gonna wipe it because I didn't spray it on the whole wheel and I don't want to get the whole wheel all wet again. So just wipe off the bits where I degreased. Oops. One of the problems is that I got a brush that isn't fine enough. This one's a bit too wide. I thought this was like one of the finest ones I could find, and it's still no good for it. Got the paint here, I'm just opening it up, gonna give it a stir, make sure everything mixes in together, and then we'll apply the paint. So I got a new brush here, this one here, much finer. It's much better than the other one, which was a really thick brush, and it was really low quality as well. This one should be much better. Just a light one, make sure I'm getting the colour on, and then the second one will be a much thicker coat, I guess. The first coat's finished drying now. and looks pretty good. The more I apply the paint, the more it's going to look like it's been touched. So I'm not really going for that look. But I'm just going to apply just one more really thin one, and that should make it look flush. Okay, looks good. I'm really happy with it at the moment. When it dries, we'll see how it looks, but it should look pretty good. We're going to let this one dry and move on to the next rim. Okay, so we got another wheel now, and on the rim here we have this weird paint bit that's just come off. I just peeled a little bit off it as well because it was loose, and we're just going to touch up around here, but the rest of the rim looks alright, so we'll just do this bit and move on to the next one. So we're all finished now. We've got all the wheels have been touched up, at least a little bit, to look presentable. I'm going to need to give them all a wash and a degrease before I take the pictures, but they should be looking really good after I've degreased and washed them. Alrighty, almost done. We're going to quickly spray over all these rims, get some degreaser on them, get all the grime and all that off, and then this tire here, I'm going to clean this with the high pressure cleaner, get rid of all that, whatever that is. It's like dust or something, I don't know, but then they should all be looking shiny and ready to take photos for the ad. I'm really happy about how the rims came out. They're really clean now. Degreased them, painted them. You can barely even tell where I painted over them. So I'm pretty happy about that. So now we're just going to take some photos, write the ad and put it up on Gumtree and Facebook Marketplace. Alright guys, so it's about a week later now and I've sold the wheels. I sold them for $600 on Gumtree. I bought them for $450, so that's $150 profit, to do the maths. And I have to say I'm pretty happy with that. I only spent about, I don't know, $20 on the paint and then also the primer stuff. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, maybe even comment if you want, and I'll see you in the next video.